Hello.
Wow, that was. I'll just say it for you. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, you know what? If I ever wanted my voice to make that sound again, I
There's
couldn't
no
do
repeating it.
No.
Can I get it as a ringtone? Is it 2008 and I can?
You know what? I should be able to do that for you.
I'm so excited.
Oh,
I might take my phone off vibrate for the first time in 6 years just to have that noise as my ringtone.
Welcome to CHMA, broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada. You're listening either on 106.9 FM in the Tantramar area or at www.chmafm.com.
On the internet.
On the interwebs. This is Ground Control at YMC Midgic Airport. You're joining myself, Air Traffic Controller Thomas.
And me, Air Traffic Controller Luke.
Join us for the next hour as we watch the skies, listen to some tunes, chat, and we'll be done by and by. So, Luke.
Yeah.
Weather, brah.
The weather has been all over the place based on my looking forward 2 days to provide you a current weather forecast, as this is pre-recorded live on Friday.
It is like literally the end of the work week.
Yeah.
Like, you came into my house and I was napping.
Yeah. Well, jealous, but also
I didn't get much of a nap in, man.
That's okay. Sometimes that's the ideal. You don't want to over-nap it, because then you don't get the evening sleep.
Yeah,
the night sleep,
the wife,
traditional sleep,
the trad sleep. The wife complains about overnapping sometimes, but I have never overnapped in my life.
Well, look at you and your superpowers.
Yeah, I do. It is a pretty great superpower.
So based on looking forward in the weather, so I can give you an accurate weather prediction, I'm going to say big old snowstorm.
Yeah, I got a weather warning, didn't I?
Well, yeah, that's for what's happening tomorrow, yesterday.
Oh.
Based on time travel technology.
Yes.
That it's going to get warm and rain and then freeze. So
do
you remember that Mighty Ducks cartoon in
Yes.
the late 90s, early 2000s where they skated everywhere?
Yeah.
That's going to be Sackville.
Nice. So I shouldn't take my car out anywhere.
No, I wouldn't recommend it unless it also runs on skates.
Well, you know that it doesn't.
Mighty Duck technology.
Well, technically, I don't know. Are my tires skates at this point?
Nearly.
Yeah. So we got a snowstorm coming up. You must be happy about that.
No, I don't think there's actually a snowstorm coming, because it's going to be rain, and then
You're manifesting.
Yes, I am hopeful that winter is not over.
Yes,
but I'm realistic in the fact that Sackville doesn't get much of a winter.
No, it's literally raining outside right now, taking the last little bit of snow we have.
Yes, and my joy in life along with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey man, you want to play a song?
Yeah, cue us up a tune, would you?
It's
we get a little something upbeat? You're the hype man.
I'm the hype.
Bring some hype to the episode now that we've botched the weather and talked about how it's bringing me down.
Let's go with there's a little track called "Self Revolution" by Gary Beals.
Right.
I listened to it this morning. I don't remember if it's a hype track or not.
Oh.
This might be the saddest thing ever.
Oh, well, if so, we'll be back, and then we'll have to find a Bring Us Around track.
Yeah, okay. Here's Gary Beals with Self Revolution.
All right.
Now, Bobby was just a young man coming up in the ghetto. Sick and tired of living that fast and dangerous life. Running wild with bad boys out in the night. Nothing ever seems to change. Feeling like a puppet on a string. He sees another mama crying. Another day, another riot. But then he realizes nothing's gonna change. Nothing never changes. See now, Tina was was just a young woman, slave to the bottle. They asking what kind of life this is for a child, as she takes to the streets at night just to get by. Drifting to anywhere where the rain pours down, miles and miles and miles from where the sun came out. She catches her reflection on a broken mirror on the ground. There's a stranger looking back now. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing never changes.
That was pretty upbeat.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like pumped, but I'm probably in a little better mood than before.
Yeah.
So, ta-da.
Do you know who else is pumped?
No.
The fans of
Oh, it's sports time.
Yakuyu.
Amazing. Tell me more.
Do you know Pro Yakuyu?
I don't believe I do.
What about Nippon Yakuyu Kiko?
No.
What about Nippon Professional Baseball?
I'm guessing this is Japanese.
Yeah.
I know Japan's, baseball's a big thing.
Yeah, so it's Japanese professional baseball. It is
No dip.
pretty much the big major league in Japan.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. So their opening season.
Yes. Go on. Sorry.
Their season's starting here in March.
Mm-hmm.
And man, there's a long history of baseball in Japan.
Okay.
So I'm just I'm not going to read the notes. I'm just going to give you
I was gonna ask, does this start as like a post World War II thing?
no, it's before that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going from memory. I don't have the notes in front of me.
All right.
I did a lot of reading about.
Give me the Cole's notes on.
Bruru Kikyu today.
Okay.
Bruru Yaku. So it started really as another company. So it's the NPB now, but it started in the 1930s. With the formation of the Greater Japan Tokyo Baseball Club.
All right.
And it was just one businessman who was like, yo.
You know what we need? Baseball.
Baseball's dope, and I like baseball, and I'm bringing it back home.
All right.
So it's like a media mogul. It would be no different than I don't know, Bell or Rogers being okay, here we go.
You know what you guys are all going to be into now because we control the media?
T-Backs Craw.
Yeah. Extreme hacky sack, right?
Yeah.
No,
So he formed a team, and it competed kind of on the Pacific coast in the 1930s and 40s. And they played all-star games with people against people like Babe Ruth and
right.
Lou Gehrig.
He was bringing in some talent to get the people.
And originally, people were very interested, but they were kind of turned off because they were they got confused by Japanese kanji.
So, I'm not sure what that is.
The writing system.
Okay.
And they were like, what are these random symbols? But after they Latinized like everyone's names and put their like Latinized names on the back of their jerseys,
People were into
Americans were like, okay, I like this now. It's like that simple change is
was
all
all
it took.
that was needed. Okay.
And they even like competed. They continued to compete in World War II. They weren't competing in the States, obviously, at that point. But they competed at home. In the 1960s, like 1959, 1960 season, it turned into the NPB, Nippon Professional Baseball. And, you know, most of our professional sports are like 4 big ones that we always talk about. They have like 2 conferences, right? You'll usually have like
Eastern Conference.
yeah, East and West, or
okay.
National and American sometimes.
Sure.
Just because like there would be like the National Football League and the American Football League. So now this is 2 conferences, the National Conference and the American Conference.
Yeah.
So they have 2 leagues as well, the Central and Pacific, I believe. The Central League and the Pacific League. But unlike every other conference, every other sport, the 2 conferences actually have like different rules and like
So strange.
yeah, so like the Central Conference has
not
a
3
designated
strikes, you're
hitter. It's still 3 strikes you're out, but like
Okay.
the
Beyond that, you could tell me anything is a rule in baseball, and I'd
Fair.
be like, yeah, okay.
they do have slightly different rules though, even
Can
though
you
they're
come
in the
back to
same
the bench
league.
and do the hokey pokey? No problem.
You have to.
It's not a bench either, is it, in baseball?
No, it's a bench. Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
a bench.
Yeah, look at sports.
So, and even like the way they do their tournaments is strange. Like, okay, so for one conference,
Yes.
Team 2 and Team 3, like there's 6 teams in each conference.
This is a variation on last week's thing where the better you are, the harder you have to work not to get kicked out.
Oh yeah, but it's like
Way
doubly
more.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
So the second tier team and the third tier team, they play off in like 3 games.
All right.
The winner of those 3 games goes on. But every single game is at Team 2's arena.
Okay.
Then they move on to like another best of 3. So whichever one wins that eliminator and Team 1 have a 3-game series. Again, all at Team 1's arena.
Okay.
Then they go off to the finals. So the two conferences have their top team facing each other. Best of 7 series. But the team who won the most automatically has 1 win.
You get it. You get a freebie win.
They call it a ghost win.
A ghost win.
Yeah, you get a ghost win. So it's a best of 7,
but it's actually of 6
It's actually of 6 because one team already has a ghost win.
because they fought to get there.
Yeah, so one team only needs to win 3 games to win. The other one needs to win 4.
Man.
And just everything about Japanese baseball I've been reading has been just insane and awesome.
All right.
And you know what? We've had really big names.
I was gonna say I know there's been players, you know, and I couldn't name them and I don't follow sports, but I was gonna ask like, is it something you can watch on like Western sports channels? Can you turn on Sportsnet? Sportsnet's a thing.
Sportsnet's a thing.
Can you turn on Sportsnet and see Japanese professional baseball being aired?
So in the United States, you can get it up on Next Level Sports, which is a cable and satellite channel. So not obviously everyone in America has Next Level Sports, but it is on cable.
It's available.
In Japan, obviously, it's on everything. It's huge. And in Canada, it's live streaming on Pacific League TV. I'm not sure what that is.
Okay.
But you can also find it on Pacific League TV's YouTube, it seems. So if you want to go out of your way and watch it, you can. But yeah, there have been like big names. The first one being Ichiro Suzuki. In like kind of the early 2000s. left the Nippon Baseball League to join the Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And the most prominent one so far, obviously, is Shohei Ohtani, who you may actually have heard of.
Yep.
Nope.
I'm gonna
He
go
is
no.
a two-way player, so he's a pitcher and bats like crazy. You usually don't get both.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest player alive right now, coming out of this league. He almost signed with the Toronto Blue Jays this offseason.
What?
He didn't.
Okay.
But yeah, Nippon Professional Baseball, really, really cool. Their season
I imagine
is just starting
Nippon,
up.
is that the sponsor?
No, Nippon is Japan. You know how Germany doesn't call themselves Germany?
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now that you pointed it out.
All right, team names.
Oh, yeah.
But talking about sponsorship, here the sponsorships are a little bit more hidden, right?
Here in Japan, it's just corporation names.
It's corporation, city thing,
Okay.
essentially, for a lot of them.
All right.
So we have the Chunchi Dragons,
Yep.
the Hashin Tigers,
Okay.
the Hiroshima Toyo Carps.
Carps?
Yep,
Like the fish.
yeah, I think so.
All right. Seems like it would.
Their-
the first two mascots would kind of. Anyway, go on.
Their logo has no fish on it. It's a little boy.
Fish-free logo.
It's a little boy batting.
Okay.
The Tokyo Yakult Swallows.
Okay.
The Tokoyama DENA Bay Stars.
Bay Stars. Mm-hmm. All right.
The Yomiuri Giants, who are the greatest team. They're the ones that were actually
The
originally...
Giants. Is that the original team?
It's the original team from the 1930s that
Yeah.
went and toured America.
Okay.
So they have 22 championships under their belt.
Yeah.
We have the Shiba Lotte. I don't know what that word is. It must be a company. Marines. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters.
Ham fighters?
Yep.
All right.
The Oryx Buffaloes.
Huh.
The Satama Cebu Lions.
Lions, yeah.
And the Tokuhaku Rakuten Golden Eagles.
Okay. Quite the swath of, birds.
A lot of birds. Even, some of the...
and large cats.
And large cats. Well, here's another bird for you. So it's a defunct team.
One of the birds didn't make it?
No, the Shohiku Robins. Sorry.
Robins, yeah.
But we got the Takahashi Unions.
All right. Curveball.
Yeah, I don't mind the Unions.
No.
And then the Nashi Nippon Pirates as well.
Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates isn't a bad name.
No.
So yeah, that's...
Is there an American baseball Pirates? Are there... obviously, no, not really up on...
there is, isn't there? Isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I can name every team in Canada, I think, because don't we only have the Blue Jays?
We only have the Blue Jays,
See,
yeah.
100% hit rate on the
Nailed
ones
it.
operating here.
I'm 95% sure Pittsburgh's the Pirates, is it?
Is it? Man,
I'm not a huge I'm more of a baseball guy than you, but...
it wouldn't take much.
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, the Pittsburgh... I just dropped my remote.
Womp womp.
It's the Pirates, yeah.
Oh, there we go. They should do some sort of, pirate off. That's what they should have.
Well, that's one of the defunct teams, the Pirates.
Oh, bring them. Did they
Bring
get
'em back.
shipped over to Pittsburgh?
You know what? I don't know, but I'm going to say they did.
I've been to, well, have I been? No, maybe I haven't been to Pittsburgh.
I have not been to Pittsburgh. Well, if I
Been to
have, it's only
Philly.
fly through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, been to Philly, but I don't think Pittsburgh. Maybe I'll look it up next time I'm in Penn State.
We should do a trip to Pittsburgh and just go to some sort of
Get some pirate garb.
yes, and go to some sort of sports event, but only for a team that is awful. Because
Yeah,
Pittsburgh is.
we'll do on-scene reporting.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is close to Philly and
roughness.
Yeah, how serious they treat their sports.
Oh, well.
I know if you're like as a football guy, I know if like you're a Steelers guy, you are a Steelers guy.
That's it. Yeah. I have an uncle who lives in Pennsylvania. Well, not an uncle, and some extended family there. Yeah. And if it meant it's the Eagles, if it meant the Eagles would win next year, and he had to throw himself in front of a car, he'd be like, "Yeah, which street?"
I believe that.
Which car? Doesn't matter.
I believe that.
And I'm fairly confident he'd do it.
Hey, you want to? You know what? We have a song on here called Babe Ruth.
Do we?
Yeah.
Segue of segues.
Didn't even mean to.
Can we tell people we did it on purpose?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. All right, folks. Coming out of this baseball conversation that I didn't know was going to exist is a song called Babe Ruth, which I do know was a baseball player because of the movie The Sandlot.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go. The Town Heroes with Babe Ruth.
You're killing me, Smalls.
batteries et les fusils. Je me sens fréquenté. Une voix me tourmente tous les soirs. Elle chante des chansons froides. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Moi je care pas anymore. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Moi je care pas anymore. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Moi je care pas anymore. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Sous la pesanteur de tous les jours, il faut jamais le lâcher. Si qu'on évalue toutes les secondes, il y aura trop à ramasser. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Moi je care pas anymore. J'ai pris tout mon temps. Moi je care pas anymore. J'ai pris tout mon temps.
The more astute listeners among you might note that there was no reference to Babe Ruth in that tune.
No, there
because it wasn't, in fact, the tune entitled Babe Ruth.
No, it was Tout Mon Temps by Quiet Parade.
Good job on the pronunciation there.
Thanks,
pretty
man.
Good. Yeah. I'm not going to slog people through. I am still just struggling so hard on the what you're reading, trying to finish Thoreau's or Walden, so I can just say I'm done it. I'm not saying it's a classic I've enjoyed. Usually when I read an English classic, I'm like, I can see why this became a classic. And, like, there's some ideas in this that are pretty good, and maybe our one listener tonight is an English prof just losing their mind because they're like, it's a work of art. And it's like, just step back from your radio or internet device because there's work of arts that can have fantastic ideas and also be a pleasure to read. So,
that's true.
Take it at that. What are you reading?
I told you that if we didn't have anything to read last week, that I'm going to talk about UFOs.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
On air or off air?
I think both.
Oh, my word.
We're talking about UFOs.
Yeah, okay.
So,
is this local content?
Both of them are. I have two things, local content, both East Coast.
Okay, East Coast UFO Hour.
Here we go. Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
In the news.
Because locally?
Well, we said East Coast counts Quebec.
Yeah, we'll let it in sometimes.
So the Canadian-American actor in 2024, so at the beginning of this year, Dan Aykroyd has now publicly detailed his experiences with UFOs, revealing the most quote-unquote spectacular sighting came when he was in a hotel in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. The Ghostbusters star, he admitted he has spotted UFOs on 4 different occasions. Starting with in an interview with Fox News this year, he spoke about a time he saw a UFO outside his hotel. The most spectacular one I saw was about 50 feet away. It was on the 23rd floor of a hotel in Montreal. There's no lights.
The UFO was on the 23rd floor, or he was on the 23rd floor?
He was on the 23rd floor.
Okay. Looking up, presumably.
Well, we'll find out here in a second.
Oh, my.
There were no lights at all. It was just a big gray object that looked like a Macy's Day Parade balloon. The comedian was in Montreal with his friend when the object was pointed out to him. We looked out the window, and there was this big gray object, 100 feet long, 50 feet high, with what looked like...
That was Bonhomme Carnival floating away, sir. It's a large snowman.
With what looked like a large bunch of grapes underneath it, you know? He told Fox.
Okay.
While standing with his friend, he revealed that he had to stop and stare at the strange aircraft floating above him. So you're right, he was looking up.
All right.
It just sat there, and we got a good look at it for about a minute, and then it kind of turned slowly, no sound, and it just drifted off. We ran into the hall and saw it drift in the St. Lawrence River. Aykroyd went on to insist that the UFO could not be classified as an easily explainable plane or object in the sky. Now, that thing was not just a helicopter. It was not kind of any aircraft. It was present, right? In front of us. Whether it was occupied or not, or who was occupying it, I don't know. I can't say that. But I know what I saw. I know what I saw! Roll credits for, like, literally every conspiracy ever. I know what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I know I had a witness with me. And I know it was vivid sighting, he told news anchors. And you can go find that clip on YouTube. It's 2 minutes and 33 seconds if you really want to.
I got to power through and get a book for next week so we don't have to learn about UFOs no more.
Oh, well, you know what? This UFO encounter is by Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, we're getting another one? It's a double shot of UFO?
Double shot, yeah.
Oh.
Because this is in Southville, Nova Scotia.
Is that in the south?
I don't know where Southville is. Probably down in the valley somewhere.
Everything's in the valley somewhere, except what isn't. Go on.
This was in 1977. So I'm
77.
77. I want to read a little bit of an author's note.
Oh my!
This author's note is by Jim L. Jim L.
Okay.
Jim was commentating on Facebook. Although this is pure conjecture, from my 50-plus years of research, this Canadian case suspiciously sounds like missing time and possible abduction. For example, Tom saying the car was pushed back 250 feet. It has been on record a few cases when abductions happen. The whole car and occupant is taken. There has been reported cases of the car and occupant has been redeposited a few miles or many miles away. Even one case from the U.S. to Mexico. And also there has been on rare occasion...
Can you imagine having to justify why you went to Mexico to maybe some people who wouldn't want you to go to Mexico?
I don't remember. I was abducted by aliens.
The best story you could come up with was I was abducted by aliens and set down there. But then to be able to deliver it with enough conviction that they're like, you know what, I think
he's
you
right.
might have actually been abducted by aliens.
Dad did go to Mexico and was abducted by aliens. Occasions where pain is related to abductions during transport to the ship.
Is my muscle pain related to abductions?
You know what, man? It depends on where you're
I've
feeling
been
them.
abducted lately?
It depends on where you feel them.
Oh.
Do you have missing time?
Missing time?
Mm-hmm.
Often when I go to sleep at night, I wake up and the time is hard to account for.
Interesting. Again, pure conjecture. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
So this guy got his car moved a couple hundred feet in south somewhere, Nova Scotia.
Well, let's see. Now we're going to get to Tom's. That wasn't even Tom speaking.
No, there was a commentary on Tom's story.
So here's Tom.
By Jim.
This is an article in the Digby Courier.
Well, now we're nowhere close to Digby.
Get
some scallops.
What was it? It has everyone guessing, but has...
What accent is this from Digby?
It is my Digby accent. What was it? It has everyone guessing, but ask Tom Thibodeau, and he is sure as he could be that it was a flying saucer. February 10th, 1977, Tom Thibodeau of Doucetteville, alone in his car, so many places. I thought it was Southville, now it's Doucetteville, was driving on the old Yarmouth Road at 1:45 in the morning from Doucetteville to Southville. Tom and his wife were at a party, according to Tom, and Tom went home to check on the baby and the babysitter. He was returning to the party and was just passing Henderson's Bog when the object, about 30 feet, hovered 10 to 12 feet above the road and actually pushed Thibodeau's car back some 200 feet. There was no noise at all, Tom said. Again, as he turned left to go to Southville Road, he saw the lights coming over the hill. Oh, my goodness, my computer's acting up. Coming over the hill and getting brighter and brighter. The object, some 60 feet in the air. Soon, a strange blue light emerged from the object and traveled around Henderson's Bog. And then another blue light appeared and traveled directly over the top of the car, which felt to Thibodeau like an electric shock.
Uh-huh.
With the return of the second light, Tom said it felt like his skin was coming from the bone, and the noise at this point was unbearable. For some time, he did not know what happened, but he made it back to the party. However, he does not remember how. The noise, in the meantime, stopped, and with a flash of light, he saw the flying saucer quickly leave. Tom remarked to the courier, "I don't drink." The headache started. He still gets headaches when he goes by Henderson's Bog.
Well,
he doesn't drink.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you got to say about that?
Nothing. It's pretty easy to criticize.
Yeah.
Being in a rural area that's not all that far from an Air Force base and seeing strange things at night at 1:30 in the morning, and you wouldn't think that maybe like a helicopter crew would mess with someone out driving on a rural road at all. I sure wouldn't if I was a bored Air Force person putting in hours in the middle of the night on training. But not everyone's like me.
Not everyone is like you, and do you know
That's
who's
probably
not
for the best?
Do you know who's not like you?
Who?
Babe Ruth.
Oh, we're trying it again. All right, folks.
Here's Babe Ruth by the Town Heroes.
You just get so pumped up for the transition because you nailed it, and then you realize that song was actually Tanglewood by the East Pointers.
Yeah.
And very much not Babe Ruth.
No, I don't think we're getting Babe Ruth tonight.
It seems to be having some technical difficulty playing that particular tune.
Hey, do you know what's going on this week in town?
In this town?
Yeah.
Skating, like in the Mighty Ducks.
That.
Okay.
But also, on Wednesday, at the Owens Art Gallery, there is a showing of Get Out by director Jordan Peele of Key and Peele.
Oh.
As a special viewing for Black History Month. On Thursday, the Sackville Film Society is going back over to the Amherst Theater to watch Four Daughters. That is at 7:30. $10 passes are still available. On Friday, the music department here in town has jazz quintet, the Rogosin Jazz Quintet at the Brunton Auditorium. That is $15, 7:30 Friday. And they are joined by some of the Mount A staff that I saw and some other local players, like Ray Legier, who has a show here on CHMA.
Yes.
He's playing violin for that show. Saturday, Latin Nation is playing the Sackville Curling Club. That is $10 if you get the early bird ticket, $15 afterwards. That is a Colombian band that has come together here in Sackville in Moncton.
All right.
One of our friends used to be in it. I don't know if he's still in it anymore.
I was going to ask, do we know anyone in that band?
We do, maybe. Last time I was talking to him, he was like, man, my kid's in so much hockey, I just can't play anymore.
Well, so, that happens sometimes.
It does happen. And then Sunday, even more music. Mount A music faculty recital, La Musique Chuiles. Sorry for the pronunciation. That is also at the Brunton Auditorium. So we have Christina Haldin, who is a soprano singer, and Stephen Runge, who's a piano player. Tickets for that are also $15. That is 3 p.m. on Sunday. That's what's going on in town.
But what's going on in town with the news? Give me some news.
Well, do you want to know what the Wark Times is talking about?
Sure. I haven't checked in a hot minute. So.
Ruffled feathers.
Oh.
Tantramar
related?
Tantramar releases secret $19,000 report on Councilor's Code of Conduct violations. We have talked about this.
We did talk about it, but now it's public. We can read.
We can read it. I have not read it yet. I was going to read it this afternoon. I didn't have the chance
because you had a nap.
I had mostly because I was at work and then I had a nap. Yes.
Oh, well.
But the New Brunswick Ombud.
Ombud? Like
Ombud.
There used to be Ombud. Now it's Ombud person? No, it's just Ombud.
Yeah, Ombud.
Okay, go on.
The New Brunswick Ombud.
It was like, release it or else? Gonna come down there with my posse?
I don't know. Anyway, It is released. The town clerk, Donna Beale, indicated that the releasing of the report into Councillor Debbie Wiggin Caldwell's municipal code of conduct violation came after a review with Melanie Grant, a complaint analyst at the Ombuds's office. In any case, it really just goes into like the things she actually broke, and it's everything that was speculated anyway.
Okay.
So it's like the town was very angry. And by that, I mean, like, the counselors and the other people that work at town were very angry.
Because of what went down.
Because she did not give town the feet and the beak of the old chap. She gave it to a different artist, even though that was town property.
Oh.
And she did a bad when she circumvented the town and then got a $10,000 statue made essentially for free, when instead of the town paying $10,000 for a statue, a completely different organization did.
Yeah.
And then she dared to put that
feet and
$10,000 statue, put the feet and beak on that $10,000 statue and dared to put that statue on municipal property.
Oh. I think we have bigger problems.
We have, this is such a joke. $20,000 went into this. And I don't mean the statue. The statue was $10,000.
Into the report.
The report is $20,000.
Yeah.
A company got paid $20,000
to report on $10,000 worth of
charity.
It's tremendous.
Because our other counselors and our mayor and the staff at town got their knickers in a knot that
gosh.
She went out of the way, the council person went out of their way to do a good job, but then jumped through the right hoops.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna I don't want to get worked up here on air.
I am worked up.
I can tell. Do you want to play a song to calm us down, or do you want?
You
some
say you
news?
got news, yeah.
Well, I got two news. I got a local news.
Give me the two news.
We lost another building.
Yes, we did lose another building.
Formerly Joey's Pizza, formerly some sort of spa, formerly quite a lot of things. I would think.
There was
not
like a tattoo
building.
place in there as well.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, another hole in downtown Sackville.
Yeah. I wonder, and I wonder this about because Nabby Sushi and the apartments over that burned down.
Yes,
not that long ago either.
No,
I don't know. Like, can that land be used?
Yes, most certainly.
Like, there's no environmental thing that.
I don't believe so. I mean, anything over a couple stories, you're going to put a story or two, a basement below it anyway. I think for stability and it's going to be excavation. I mean, you run into a little bit in my business where you're dealing with automotive repair shops who are often on the site of old gas stations and stuff.
Yes, of course.
And they're very real environmental concerns that have to be taken very seriously, and has a big impact on a property like that. But for residential stuff, unless it was adjacent to something or it was in some sort of odd manufacturing, really, I think you're taking enough dirt out there that it's like, no, you're just starting fresh and building something.
Well, I'm glad. I hope something goes up in both of those spots, actually.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to fill some of those holes.
Literal holes, yeah.
Yeah.
On Bridge Street. I heard that. I haven't been down that way yet.
No.
But I heard that the deconstruction of the rest of the building there was happening today. So
yeah, womp womp,
womp womp, indeed. What's your other news?
My other news. Do you like living with three other people in a 1,400 square foot 3D printed enclosure? If not, NASA is not looking for you. Because NASA is looking for people to spend a year, actually I think it's slightly over a year, in a simulated version of going to Mars.
Interesting. And how much am I getting paid?
It wasn't mentioned in either article I read or when I heard it on a different radio show. It sparked my interest. And actually, truthfully, as Canadians, we can't apply. NASA
That's fair,
is happy to take our tech, but not our people.
Yes, I
Whoa,
get that.
shots fired.
If I was at a different stage of my life, I'd 100% consider it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it seems like the type of thing to me where it'd be like sociologists would be like frothing at the bit to be like, because we get to take 4 people and just lock them in, and they have to pretend like it's so that they want it so much. They want it to be so much like the real thing that they're even like, yeah, you can have communication back with people on the outside, but there's going to be the 20-minute buffer.
Yeah,
there's no real time. All your food, all your water, all that. It's going in there with you.
Yeah. We are going to put you in a giant vacuum and suck all the oxygen out except what's in your little compartment.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, it's listen. As a kid, you learn about space and you learn about astronauts, and I think every kid, to some extent, goes through this is so cool.
Yeah,
because space is awe-inspiring. And it's just crazy to me that the part of the nuts and bolts of getting ready to send people to another planet, which is probably 10, 15, 20, I don't know how many years off before we're actually sending people to Mars. Or maybe by then we'll just have been like, yeah, you know what, Earth's pretty good. Maybe we should fix it and, focus on tuning that up. But the fact that they actually are like, yeah, well, we're getting far enough along that we want to start doing a walkthrough on this. It's just nuts.
It's real cool.
So I think scientists everywhere, from the people who are actually concerned about going to other planets to people who study like isolation and stuff, are all like, yeah, let's get some people in this little cube right now.
There's definitely a couple of psychologists too who are just like, oh man, I'm going to get a patient for life. Oh, this person's going to be so traumatized.
But maybe not.
They're never going to get rid of me. Hey, what do you want to play?
Well, we filled our banjo spot.
Yeah, we got banjo, we got French.
For the night, and we filled our French for the night. We haven't played Mo Kenny in like months.
Hey, you want to do
Mo Kenny?
Maybe
a month. That's a catchy Mo Kenny tune.
All right, we're going to go with The Great Escape by Mo Kenny.
Don't trip, I will never let slide out of my grip. Even if I gotta prove it with my fist, you'll be the last to go. Don't trip, I will never let slide out of my grip. Even if I gotta prove it with my fist, you'll be the last to go. Don't trip.
This might shock you. That wasn't Mo Kenny.
I am truly shocked.
That was Don't Trip by Aquaculture. I don't know what's going on with the technology here today.
Seem to be having some technical malfunctions. It's a good thing it's not crossing over into the air traffic control software.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be real dangerous. Luckily, I think all the audio stuff other than the music is going fine today. So we're just going to power through. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Some gold stars.
I'm so excited for this week's Gold Star.
Well, you know what? I'll give my gold star first.
Is yours a serious Gold Star?
Yeah, it's pretty
last
serious.
Week. Oh, okay, I'll save the ridiculous.
Yeah,
for next
it's not as serious as last week.
All right, hit me with some Gold Star action.
Mine's going to Antonio Simmons. Antonio Simmons is a football player. Okay. And you know I love the good
American football, Canadian
football. And he's a defensive end, and his rookie year was 2019, and he very, very promising rookie year, getting 45 tackles, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, which is like not bad for a rookie.
All right,
coming in the league, and that's when quote here. That's when everything went downhill for me. I got halfway through the season, and I'm having mental breakdowns. I'm going through it. At the time, I didn't know how to handle myself and control my anxieties. It lasted the whole year. I couldn't shake it. I couldn't do nothing. I didn't have no motivation. I was angry. I was moody. It was just killing me. It made me someone I'm not. I'm not an angry person. I'm a great teammate, a great person to be around, funny. I like to have fun all the time. I'm goofy, but I just wasn't myself. And he actually had a really, really hard battle with depression for a couple years. And he's healthy now. He's coming back. He had to fight to get back into the league, because when you leave for a year, that's huge for sports.
I'm sure.
It's always all sports are what have you done for me lately? Game, right? And he bounced around a couple of CFL teams, but he's coming back. I believe he's coming back with the Blue Bombers. And he said, I'm 100% back to my old self. I'm the best football player I'll ever be right now and in the years to come. I just want to keep getting better and better. Taking the year off was the best thing I could do, focus on my mental health. Because I feel like if I kept pushing it and not handling it, it would have just gotten worse and worse and worse. And more people need to do that in general, and more people need to be public about it, and more people need to do it in professional sports as well. So, just really good for Antonio Simmons. I'm glad he's back. He's battled it. He's still working on it. He's still in therapy, he says.
All right.
And Yeah, and he's out there and he's talking about it, and he's being a good role model, and honestly, I hope the world for him. I hope he gets 90 tackles and 6 sacks and 2 forced fumbles this year.
That's a lot.
That would be a pretty good season.
Okay.
That'd be a pretty good season.
I don't know the metrics on that one. So.
But that is my gold star. What about yourself?
Keep it local.
Yeah.
You're familiar that maybe you're not familiar. You know that Sackville has a pretty active rod and gun club. It'd be like outdoors hunting, fishing type.
I knew down by the landing. There's like shooting, right?
A shooting range.
Yeah.
That might be where it is. And they do some other events throughout the year. They just had their ice fishing events for family based. They wanted to get kids out.
Of course,
they had like 40 kids out on the old Morris Pond there, Silver Lake, which is great. And I know you're thinking, I'm going to give it to the Rod and Gun Club, but no.
Oh,
giving it to the fish because apparently hardly any fish were caught. Single digits. No one was pulling fish out of the pond on this particular day. So,
I'm going with Antonio Simmons, and you're going with Sackville
the fish that didn't get caught.
I'm just putting Sackville fish.
Sure. That's great. I'll know what you mean.
That's great.
But, good on the Rod and Gun Club, too, for getting an event that gets people, out in the open air in the middle of winter.
I'll put them in brackets.
But mostly, I'm just impressed by the fish. Maybe it's a bigger issue and the fish are gone, or just like the dolphins were once. But
maybe it's an awful environmental issue that we're joking about.
Yeah, in which case I will eat my words later. But for today, I'm thinking
Rod and Gun Club.
All right,
that's
mostly
great.
The fish, though.
Hey, you know what? You right now, Luke, have a minute and a half to do something.
I could do my shout out for the week, my plug for another
you already
show.
Have a promo?
Whoa,
that's what I was going to say. You have like a minute to get.
No, because I was going to try and get you a segue into something active so I could talk about running. And you know that while I am trying to be a healthier version of me,
yes,
I hate running with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns.
It does suck,
but some people enjoy it.
I know. I don't get that either.
And there's words you could use for that. Runners.
Sociopath.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that, actually.
Yeah.
But if you're actually into that, I know people, and someone I used to know when I was running, because when I used to work on the road, I'd run because you're just so much hotel time and so much desk time. And I had to do it because otherwise my health would just
greasy
off
food
so
as well.
Yeah. The restaurant food, 3 meals a day, just kills you.
Yeah.
But I was doing it, and I'd always run without headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just go for a run, and I had several people point out to me over the years that was
that's strange,
very strange, because apparently people put a ton of work into their playlist and getting ready to go. So if you're one of these people, and maybe you're working on that, you should tune in at 10, because Mac, apparently a runner, does a little show, and it's he says it's a progression of my musical taste through a career of running, beginning in soft and melodic and into alt rock, and showing the aspects that bring all this music together. So it's all right,
that's really good, Luke.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, you know what? And we could have nailed it more so if you had kept talking about football, because I bet that guy does a lot of running, but that would have been a pretty weak segue.
No, we could have. You know what?
Yeah.
I think we do segues right in that we just talk about segues a lot without actually ever doing one.
So people know that we're acknowledging the fault?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
I'm fine with that.
Do you know what's on right after this? You should by now.
KX. I'm so bad with acronyms.
Live on KEXP, formerly known
straight out of
as
Seattle.
Under the Needle. That's
See,
right.
I know what it is, and
Right.
they get some great musicians.
They
and
do.
some music, and after that, you can come back local with Black Atlantic.
Well, let me
See, you think I'm not paying attention, but really, I'm 30% paying
It's
attention.
true. Black Atlantic has a lot going on this month, of course, with it being African Heritage Month. You could check them out at blackatlantic.ca.
Mm-hmm.
Follow them on Spotify. or their YouTube page. Hey, do you know what is on at 9 p.m.?
Oh, now you're asking a lot.
At 9 p.m., we have The Night Shift. Here, Luca Capone spin a diverse, adventurous mix of sounds ranging from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop.
Sorry, Luca.
With heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists. But, yeah, please stay around for the next 3 hours of great programming. Hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for CHMA for hosting and broadcasting. Check them out at chmafm.com. And they are CHMAFM on all the socials. Check us out at midgicairport.com. Visit our merch store. Give us a shout out on all the socials at Midgic Airport, except on X, formerly known as Twitter, where we are at Midgic_Airport. Check out our Twitch channel. I think as of this coming out, we had our first Twitch stream yesterday.
Ooh.
Me, Sean, Jay, and our friend Dan.
Oh.
All played Uno together for a few hours.
All right.
At least that's the plan for tomorrow.
All right.
AKA yesterday.
Time is strange.
You can catch myself, Jay, and Sean, and others. Ooh, the others this time is Dan, playing games and interacting with our community. The Twitch highlights will be posted daily on our YouTube channel, which is also at Midgic Airport. Finally, if you missed an episode, you can check us out anywhere you get your podcasts.
Like on the internet?
Like on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, goodbye.
Good night, folks.